This is an interesting story. So you know fathers and daughters.
I'm aware of them.
I've heard of them.
Yeah.
Usually, I feel like fathers and daughters get along better than mothers and daughters and fathers and sons.
That's correct.
Right?
I could confirm that information.
But this wasn't the case in this story. A dad killed his 14-year-old daughter.
Why?
Well, this is an interesting story. His name is Simon Vickers, and he's British, in case you didn't know why his name's Simon Vickers.
Vickers.
He was drinking a bit of wine, right? And then he says that he and his daughter were mucking around. He says mucking around.
Mucking around? Ugh. Disgusting.
I never want to muck around
Don't
with my father.
muck. Do not muck.
No. But he says we were mucking about in the kitchen, and then he accidentally threw a pair of scissors. No, not scissors. I'm sorry. He says that he threw a pair of tongs at her, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't a pair of tongs. It was a knife, and it went into her chest, and she's dead. So he was.
What the fuck is mucking around where you were throwing objects at your kid?
That's the muck.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is that?
You're
Is
throwing stuff around,
It's
mucking
fun.
around.
It's fun. It's like, yay, we're in the kitchen and we're throwing objects at each other.
He also says mucking about.
Mucking about.
Mucking about. So he says, no, I didn't stab my daughter in the chest. I was simply trying to throw a pair of tongs at her during the muck.
Wow.
However, jurors were not swayed. A forensic expert came on and testified the angle of the 8-inch kitchen knife
Oh my God.
that struck Scarlett, that's his daughter, was very firmly stabbed into her chest.
Oh yeah, no fucking toss is gonna do that. Just
No.
shoot, clean stab right in there.
And I think you get found guilty of mucking about.
Yeah,
And that
unlawful mucking.
Unlawful mucking, I mean, that could get you 50 to 60 years.
I don't need any mucking in my family happening.
Oh, God.
Every time the objects are thrown around, it's usually for a target.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, one time my dad threw an empty Pepsi bottle at my head.
Oh, well,
I hated that so much because it was a lot funnier than it was painful, and my brothers were dying laughing.
yeah.
And also the sound of it, just
Pong.
and you're like, oh.
The life of a Dominican family.
That is the mucking around I will accept.
Yeah, that's funny.
The only
Yeah.
mucking around.
Well, at least it
that's-
was an actual empty bottle and not a hatchet in your head.
And and I thought it was an empty Pepsi bottle. Turns out it was a knife.
Yeah, I do love that this guy was going through like the leprechaun defense.
Yeah.
Being like, no, it was tongs. I can't believe it was a knife. It's like, no, it was, obviously.
You
it was a
gotta
knife.
believe me.
So, according to Durham Police Detective Superintendent Craig Rudd, he says, we may never know why or what caused Simon Vickers to do what he did that night. Sadly, today's verdict will not bring Scarlett back,
That's
but he will
sad.
now face the consequences of his actions.
That's so sad.
I know, right?
Little lady.
Yeah, they were watching so he downed 4 glasses of wine, and they were watching soccer on television. So maybe his football team lost.
She was like, ha ha, your fucking little team lost.
Your little footy lost.
Aw.
Yeah.
4 glasses of wine in will make you get you into some murderous muckery.
I guess so. This is what he told jurors. He says, we were having harmless fun.
Yeah, that sounds harmless as hell.
Yeah. He says, there was no knife in the equation. I was throwing a pair of tongs as far as I was aware. So he really
Why?
is.
Why were you throwing a pair of tongs at your 14-year-old daughter? That's not cool either.
Then, this is what he says, and this is a very creepy line. He says, then she stopped breathing. There was nothing. Her eyes just went like a doll's eyes.
Oh, God.
Like Jaws.
Oh.
That's what he said. He said, her eyes just went like a doll's eyes.
Oh, I don't like that.
Right? And he's like, those weren't tongs at all.
Just turned my daughter into a doll.
Well, he made spaghetti out of her.
Jeez.
Isn't that horrible? Jennifer Bolton, a forensics expert called to the stand by prosecutors, testified that it was practically impossible for a knife like that, the one that killed Scarlett, to have been thrown. So she was like, no, that was definitely just stabbed. She stabbed her a
stabbed.
lot.
Yeah, unless you're John Wick,
Oh,
Yeah.
of course.
then I would believe it. But a knife to the chest, it's very hard to get through
Yeah.
a rib cage in a chest bone.
Yeah.
Yep. Vickers' lawyers told the court his client was already serving a life sentence after his daughter's death, which I think is mean like he's really sad that his daughter is dead.
Oh, that's
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
that must be tough for him.
Yeah, it sounds so hard for him. I bet he was never gonna muck again.
I love that John Wick movie.
It's so fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love it. There's nothing like a dude on a warpath over someone taking his dead wife's dog.
You gotta avenge the dog.
I
yeah,
know.
yeah.
And it like literally he killed every single person in that.
And because it was all for a puppy, everyone like feels him so hard. It took the hearts of America.
really did.
Like, yeah, you tell him about that fucking dog.
Can you imagine we find out there's foul play in Norbert's death? Better watch out. Also, I said Norbert had millions of followers, only 857,000.
Oh,
That makes more sense.
but overall,
That's a lot.
all the social medias.
Way more than I have.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to another family feud. Death, it's not easy to take or handle, and people, they suffer and mourn in different ways.
Yeah.
So this was January 25th. Kathleen and Maureen Deegan, they're from Florida, and they're siblings.
All right.
And they were at their the funeral for their 95-year-old papa. It was at a Catholic church. And then there was a eulogy, and it was delivered by Kathleen. And apparently, this is where things got a little bit sketchy.
Yeah.
Court records, they show that there was a melee. According to an arrest affidavit, Kathleen's eulogy did not include a mention of Sister Maureen's 24-year-old daughter.
Oh.
So she got really upset that you didn't mention her daughter. But
Yeah.
it's not an Oscar speech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do I have to mention your daughter? It's
Yeah.
the eulogy of my dad, your
Right.
dad as well. But you don't have to mention.
Hello.
Is that a rule?
Hello, Lisa's sitting right here.
And I want to give a shout out to 24-year-old granddaughter. It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah, like why are you? Even if you want to be bitchy about it at the end, you could do like that sister thing where you're like, "That was a beautiful speech. I love how it only included you, and not my daughter."
Ooh, nice and catty.
Yeah.
Are there rules to a eulogy?
I don't know. I mean, we don't know how she worded it.
I mean, she said that she didn't mention at all the daughter.
Yeah.
Well,
But
she could
so-
say like he loved his grandchildren or grandchild.
What if he didn't?
Yeah.
Well, what if he didn't?
She's
That's
like,
the question.
I
That-
happen to know he thought she was a little shit.
He thinks she's a whore.
Yep.
He's 95 and she's 24. I'm sure that he didn't understand her.
Yeah. Yeah, that's safe.
It's like when
Safe assumption.
my grandma Lillian died, my mom's mom.
Yeah.
The eulogist, she was a very nice Catholic. She wasn't the Lutheran minister because I don't think the Catholics let the ladies do it yet.
Yeah.
And she was like Lillian. She loved everybody. She had nothing but love in her heart. And her nickname for my little brother Michael was Squirrel because she hates squirrels.
That's hilarious.
She's very mean. She used to chase us around with broomsticks. One time, she just doused me with Lysol. Just stood over me and just doused me with Lysol.
Why?
Jeez.
Did you curse?
No, it's probably a stinky little shit.
Yeah, probably that too.
I'm not even against her. I think it's very funny, but it was just like I'm
Hilarious.
sitting there during her eulogy. I was like, this is not like, do you just get to lie now? Maybe she's dead. Like, she wouldn't tell you. My grandma
Yeah.
would be like, that's not true exactly. I don't like them very much.
Yeah. Yeah.
She killed my fucking grandfather.
Holy shit.
You should have gone up there and just been like, "Hey, I just want to set the record straight.
Total bitch.
Didn't like me very much.
Oh, I was her least favorite. My older
Could
brother.
always tell. Were you Squirrel?
No, my little brother Michael was Squirrel, but I wasn't much above Squirrel. My middle brother Chris, I'm my mom's favorite. Mama's boy.
Cute.
But Chris was my grandma's favorite. Because they're both, I don't like drama. I'm just not into drama. But then they call it
That's
drama.
so dramatic. That is the most dramatic thing you could possibly say. It's like, oh, I hate drama.
It's like, well, you seem to be surrounded by it constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I don't like carbs. Well, why do you wake up with pizza in your bed? Which I have done before. But that's because my little dog, Jerry, brings it into bed.
Yeah, sure. It's little dog, Jerry.
Well, it is a little bit. Anyway, all right. So, investigators charged that Maureen walked over to Kathleen and purposely chest bumped her.
Ooh.
She gave her a chest bump.
That's pretty sick.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah. She's like, the fuck was that, you, Luigi? Ugh.
What? Ugh, like a linebacker.
Let's slap titties.
And they're Kathleen and Maureen are two accurate names. These are big old mamas. Not to be misconstrued with the drag queen who wants to kill Donald Trump.
Sturdy women.
Big mama.
Big mama. So she purposely chest bumped her. Kathleen then grabbed her sister's hair and pulled it backwards. Maureen responded by throwing strikes at Kathleen's face, though it was unclear if she used a closed hand or an open hand. So
I don't
know why that meant. I don't know.
It does matter because an open hand hurts worse. This is what we talked about with slap fights.
Oh
or
yes,
power
that's
slap.
very true.
I'd rather
Power
get punched in
slap.
the face all day
Yeah, that's true.
than an
I'd
open
rather.
hand slap, especially in the cold. I know
I
they're
don't
in
want-
Florida, but still, just a bitter bang. Ouch.
I'm surprised neither of them had fake hair to rip off.
Yeah, well, they're still only in their 60s.
Fresh highlights going on. One of them cares about her hair.
Yeah, I wonder if this is going to be like a long-lasting family feud. Also, thank God for the dad just be dead.
Yeah.
I can just see
He'd
the
be
dad
so
looking in the corner
disappointed.
of the room, just being like, "Thank God I'm
He's
fucking
like,
dead."
Jesus fucking Christ.
This has to have been a
Okay.
feud for a while.
Yeah,
Oh.
no, this is contentious as hell.
Not a new thing.
Look at their faces. Their faces in the mugshots are still pissed off at the other sister.
Oh, I want to be there for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, yeah. This seems great.
This is going to be.
These are the
good.
aunts I want to grow up with.
Yeah, turkey's flying out the window by 3:00.
Yeah.
You didn't mention your daughter. You didn't mention your niece. You know, your niece. It's like your daughter's a pig. So Kathleen was arrested for misdemeanor battery. Maureen was charged
Misdemeanor.
with felony battery, since her alleged victim was 65 years or older. But it's her fucking sister.
It's her sister.
So
Yeah.
because this older sister was older, it's now a felony because she hit someone 65 or older.
Wow.
That's trash.
That's bullshit. This is a family affair. You
That is right.
guys need to stay the fuck out of it.
I need a remake of the old UPN show, Sister, Sister. And it's just these two fighting every
It's
day.
these two.
I love that idea.
Sister.
Yeah, exactly. White sister. Sister. Yeah,
Kathleen and Maureen.
I don't think Maureen should be charged with a felony.
How old is Maureen?
So Maureen is 40, or no, I'm sorry, Maureen is 60, and her sister is 65.
That's rough. 5 years is a solid age gap for a sibling rivalry.
Yeah, they live 7 miles away from each other.
Oh my God, they're close and they hate it.
Yeah, and they're in Clearwater. Maybe they do need Scientology.
Yeah.
Maybe Scientology would actually help calm them down,
Yeah.
make it so they don't fight at their father's funeral.
Oh my God, they got
Yeah.
arrested for each other.
Come read Dianetics.
I just don't. I'm just still caught up on the felony. They are sisters.
Yeah, they're sisters.
There's no age.
Imagine just getting arrested for getting into like a sibling fight.
Yeah, it must have escalated fairly quickly.
Yeah, yeah. For
And then there's other
someone,
people
because-
around.
yeah, thinking there's a eulogy, there's family around.
Right.
So someone decided to call the cops.
Someone needs to set down 3 chairs, bring the corpse of Jerry Springer back,
Yep.
and just get some cameras and let's watch this unfold on television.
Rest in peace, Jerry.
I-
I know, right?
I think I know why there's strife in this family.
Okay.
Why is that?
The very end, it says Maureen, a Clearwater resident, lives about 7 miles from her sister, whose address is listed in jail records as the $2 million waterfront home owned by their late father's trust.
Oh.
This has nothing to do with the eulogy.
Nothing to do with the granddaughter.
Whoa.
And nothing. Oh my God.
I'd be furious.
So who's got the house? Is it Maureen?
Well, maybe Maureen.
No,
I'm
it's
assuming
not
it-
Maureen. It's the other one. Kathleen has the $2 million house.
It's not very clear. It says Maureen.
A Clearwater resident lives 7 miles from her sister Kathleen, whose address is listed in jail records as the $2 million
So
house.
and I believe Kathleen's the young one.
Yeah.
So the dad jumped over the first one,
Yup.
gave the house to the young one.
Yup.
But then why is the young one so upset that they didn't mention her 24-year-old daughter? Who gives a shit? You're living in a $2 million house. in
Yeah, no,
Clearwater.
seriously. The older sister was just like, all right, you have the big fancy fucking house. I'm just going to give my eulogy.
Wow.
It's like, hey, don't
Wow.
forget. Just shut up, Kathleen. Your
So the-
fancy fucking house and your 3 bathrooms. Shut up.
Wow. Well, now I'm actually more sympathetic to the older one
Yeah.
because wow,
Yeah.
this would be frustrating.
Yeah.
I bet you she got the house because she had the daughter.
Yeah.
And the dad was like, well, you have a daughter. You can take the house when I die.
Oh my God, so true.
It could have been a you get the cash, you get the house type situation too. This guy might. We don't know what this guy. What did he do?
We have no idea what he did.
Yeah.
Well, what he
But
did
Clearwater
was-
is the home for Scientology, so maybe he
Yes.
was up in the church.
Ooh.
Oh, maybe, yeah. Maybe he worked in the church.
But then the melee was at St. Brendan's. They would allow that. They would
Oh,
allow
right.
Scientology
Oh,
church.
Okay.
That's true. Good work. Truth. Ploof with the truth.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That detective work.
Getting to it.
Well, they need to work on their, I believe, thetans. think they're called thetans.
Yes.
The negative things that are up inside the bubble up inside your body. I think Scientologists call them thetans.
I thought it was
Yeah.
called gas.
Well, it's if you're a whale.
Hello.
Right.
Thanks for watching, everyone. New episodes every Monday through Thursday. Watch and comment live on Patreon at patreon.com/diebud. Hail yourself, and remember, everything's going to be okay, bud.